Hey guys, it's Michael. Today's your Sunday, May 17th, stimulus check and stimulus package update. We're going to go over key financial and economic news, the new stimulus check, and what 5 Republican senators are saying about the new stimulus package. And then we're going to get into a couple of pieces of information for the first stimulus check. But before we get into it, I have an exciting announcement, and that's going to be that I'm giving away 3 free stocks. Each are going to be valued at $50. I might give away $50 in fractional shares of Apple, $50 in fractional shares of Amazon, or just a $50 stock. So I'm going to give that away to 3 of you, and all you need to do to be eligible is like the video, comment down below the 3 stocks I mentioned in today's video, and then finally be subscribed to my channel. And then I'll randomly pick 3 of you to give $50 in a free stock to. And if you guys like this, I can start doing it more, so be sure to comment that down below as well. Anyways, let's get right into it and let's go into the key financial and economic news. Oil prices have started to make a recovery. On Friday, U.S. oil futures climbed more than 7% to nearly $30 a barrel, which is just enough for some oil wells in the U.S. to break even, so that is great news. This is huge because on April 20th, a couple weeks ago, oil futures fell below zero and negative for the first time. So the reason that oil is starting to make a recovery, make a comeback, is because driving in the US and Europe is picking up as people are starting to leave their homes and states are starting to reopen. Refineries in China are buying more oil as the country starts to open up as well. Saudi Arabia and Russia ended their price war and slashed production, and American oil companies are decommissioning oil rigs and shutting wells down because they can't break even. There could be another dip in oil prices if reopening doesn't go according to plan, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. And our stock number 1 for today is Apple. Moving on, more than 2/3 of states in the US have significantly relaxed restrictions and started to open up. So we want to see how that goes moving forward. If people start spending money, going to work, we'll see how that goes. Next up is the Food and Drug Administration granted its second emergency use authorization for a personal coronavirus testing kit. And with this kit, it allows people to swab themselves for the virus at home and send them to a laboratory. So then this way, you don't have to leave your home. You could test yourself and then send it into a lab to see if you are tested positive for the coronavirus. It's made by a company called Everlywell, and it should be available later this month. And then finally, Steven Mnuchin, the Secretary of the Treasury, and Jerome Powell, who is the Director of the Federal Reserve, should be speaking on Tuesday, and both of them will report to Congress on whether the relief package is working, the first stimulus package. We should expect different opinions on each of these because they both have very different views. Jerome Powell is giving Congress a dire warning to provide more stimulus money and pass another stimulus package soon in order to help the economy rebound. He said it will help businesses that would go out of business. It'll help keep them in business, and how we need more money into the economy. And then on the other hand, the Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, he said that next year we'll be back having a great economy. It'll be a great year, and maybe we should hold off and just think a little bit more before we put another stimulus package into place. So we'll see what goes on there. Moving on, let's get into the new stimulus package. We're going to go over what 5 Republican senators are saying about a second stimulus package. We all know that on Friday, the HEROES Act was passed by the House. So now, in order for a second stimulus package to be signed into a law and for us to actually get money, it needs to also be passed by the Senate and by the President. So we're going to go over what 5 Republican senators are saying about this new package. Anyways, while McConnell and many of his members in the Senate are saying that a bill is likely at some point, he says that he doesn't feel an urgency to spend more money after Congress has already spent $3 trillion in the previous stimulus packages. So he says there's no sense of urgency right now. There are some signs of activity, however, with McConnell. McConnell and Senator John Cornyn are already working on legislation that would exempt some businesses and employees from liability during the coronavirus pandemic. This is what he's been talking about for a while, where they would make it so there's legal protections for businesses, so it allows them to open up and not be afraid of people suing them if they go into a business and someone coughs or sneezes and they get sick. So he wants to have these provisions for small businesses in place, so they're currently working on that. But they said that this might take several weeks before this was even written up and finally incorporated into a stimulus package. Next up is from a Republican senator named John Thune. And what he said is that in terms of what timing would look like for a second stimulus package, he suspects that nothing really will happen until after Memorial Day and when they recess for Memorial Day. So probably nothing will happen until then. That's going to be in a week or two. So we'll see what happens after Memorial Day, but I would be surprised if something happens beforehand. However, good news though is that many of the people in Washington are saying how a second stimulus package is necessary. It's going to have to happen because unemployment is nearly 15% and there's no sign of a quick economic recovery, and it doesn't look like we're going to rebound as quickly as everyone thought. And before we get into the next point, our second stock of the day is Amazon. According to Susan Collins, she says that she does think they need to be working on an alternative to the $3 trillion stimulus package that was proposed by the House Democrats. She says that this was just a wish list by the House Democrats and they need to be currently working on another stimulus package. So a lot of people may be concerned because they're thinking they need to work on another stimulus package, but actually this is all good news because all of the Republicans are saying how they need to work on another stimulus package. There needs to be more aid for people. So this is all good news. I know we wanted this $1,200 stimulus check and the HEROES Act to go all the way through, but who knows what would be in the second stimulus package that the Republicans are going to work on. It could be even better than the HEROES Act, so we'll see how that goes. And then finally, a Republican named Rob Portman from Ohio said that we're going to have to do more, adding that no money has gone to his state's mid-sized cities, and he says that the question is should we do it without the benefit of information, or should we get the information first and then make a second stimulus package? So according to all of what these Republicans are saying in the Senate, they're all saying how we need to get information before we make a second stimulus package. They don't want to rush it. They want to make sure they're giving the proper aid to the American people. So according to the Republicans, that is their side of it right now. The House Democrats, they got the HEROES Act passed, and they want to get this pushed all the way through so people can get that $1,200 stimulus check that it's proposing, but that Republicans in the Senate are saying we want to make sure we're doing it right. They want to think everything over, and essentially what it looks like at this point is that nothing's really going to get passed in the Senate until at least after Memorial Day, and I'll keep you guys updated on what happens there. But the good news is that all of the Republican senators are saying that we do need more money. Anyway, so with those new updates out of the way for the second stimulus check, I just quickly want to touch on what is in it. I know that you guys have already heard about what is in the HEROES Act, but I want to just quickly remind those of you who have not yet heard. So the first thing is that it's a one-time $1,200 stimulus check for everyone, whether you're an adult or a child. Everyone will be getting a $1,200 stimulus check, which is according to the HEROES Act, if this act is to go through. And then in addition to this, the other main point is that unemployment benefits will be extended through January 31st of 2021. So currently, you're able to get unemployment benefits from your state, as well as the additional $600 as part of the CARES Act, and that's $600 every single week. That's going to run up in July 31st, but according to the HEROES Act and what they currently was passed by the House of Representatives, this $600 per week unemployment benefit check will be extended through January 31st. And then the final most important aspect of this bill, which I think applies to a lot of us, is for the essential worker pay. And in the HEROES Act, they give essential workers an up to $13 per hour pay boost. And this is up to $10,000 total. So that's the maximum. And this is retroactive to January 27th of 2020. So that means if you're an essential worker and you worked from January 27th, anytime up until now, you could be eligible for a retroactive payment of $13 per hour on top of your hours already. So that is basically the highlights of what is in the HEROES Act. It is the $1,200 stimulus check for everyone, the additional unemployment benefits, and the essential worker pay boost. So now let's get into the first round of stimulus checks. I know that a lot of you guys are still frustrated on what is going on here, but as of right now, there are no new updates on when you could expect to receive a stimulus check. Later today, I'm going to be making a video answering a number of your questions on when you can expect to receive your stimulus check, so just be sure to leave those in the comments down below. A lot of you guys who are on SSI, SSDI have not yet received it, so I'll be touching on those later. But as of right now, SSI, SSDI, the IRS is just currently working on sending out these stimulus checks, and there's no official date on when everyone can expect to receive the stimulus checks. Currently, the IRS has sent out 130 million stimulus payments, and they still have millions more they need to process and send out. And the third and final stock of the day is Google. So anyways, that is what's going on in the world today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app. 1 free stock when you sign up for Robinhood. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out our links down below and join our Power of Finance Investors group, as well as our Discord group community chat. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.